Virgo, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique bringing you your September energy forecast. So happy birthday. You are definitely in solar return season. The last 3 months being in your dark season has led you to this point where things may have fallen apart in order for you to put them back together in a better way. The sun giving you a full download of the energy codes that you're going to need for your next natal year should be bringing you back to life in areas in which you felt like you were falling apart. Now, with birthday season, things do get off to a slow start, especially seeing how Mercury, your ruler, is in its pre-shadow period, preparing to go retrograde here on the 9th. But first, you get a blast of energy from the sun. This should be helping your life force energy. This should be helping you concentrate and focus on what it is that you want to set out and experience for this next year. And with Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure, moving into your sign on the 5th, you're definitely going to put the focus back on putting yourself together. What does that mean? Well, it means that you've probably been neglecting yourself, probably putting yourself in other people's business and other people's lives in roles of service to help others, while you essentially have been falling apart at the seams. Of course, visually, nobody would know that. Mentally, you would never disclose how crazy and chaotic it has been for you over these past couple of months. Venus moving into your sign is going to help you get down to the nitty-gritty on really seeing that you have to nurture yourself back to a place of stability, a place of wholeness, a place of purity in your mind, in your body, in your soul, if you stand a chance of even showing up for other people half whole in the way that you haven't been doing in the previous months. There is a want, need, and desire to really implement new healthy routines for you, become a little bit more disciplined, structured in your daily tasks, in your daily chores. But most of all, Virgo, you do have to take a time out and really kind of recalibrate, restructure, reorganize what's going on in that mental plane of yours. Now, Mercury, your ruler, like I mentioned, will be going retrograde in Libran energy. And this, of course, is going to have a huge effect on you to have to redo a couple of things, revisit some past topics and themes, especially where your values are concerned, where it is that your self-confidence, your self-worth is concerned. You might actually see where there is a revisitation to old skills, old talents that need to come out to the forefront in order to kind of help you rebuild a solid foundation for you to operate on. Now, this will likely put a little bit of a fog on your mental plane, not thinking as efficiently as you would like. And because the intellect is your greatest asset, you might feel a little bit cray-cray. Now, that's okay. Lean into it. Not everything needs to make sense. Not everything needs to be compartmentalized. But Mercury going retrograde, especially in this Libran energy, is definitely going to have you revisiting some topics and themes that have a huge impact on your particular relationships as well. Now, this energy is going to have you looking back, reflecting more than projecting yourself moving forward into the future. But it is absolutely needed to reassess, to reevaluate certain aspects of your daily life. This is about what it is you want to create, what it is you want to give birth to in your new natal year. And eventually, at the end of the month, we will see Mercury return into Virgo energy, which should help you come up with solutions, a fixer type of mind to some of the things that will likely pop off while Mercury is retrograde in Libran energy. We have the full moon in Pisces taking place on the 10th, and this is going to be highlighting your 7th house. Your 7th house is relationships. It's how you're sharing yourself in the world. And because this is a full moon in Pisces, you need to rewind back to February, back to March, when it is that you tried to bring a new vision, a new dream to life, where it is that maybe you had a connection in your relationship that didn't quite come into fruition the way that you would have expected. unexpected. Now, the full moon in Pisces is definitely going to show you where it is that you can't control your emotions, where it is that you're a little bit too rigid in expressing your emotions. And there will likely be, because Mercury, your ruler, will be retrograde in Libra that rules over the 7th house, there will likely be some exes, some past relationship drama come up for you to actually activate you, trigger you to see where it is that, yes, growth and healing has taken place, but where it is that maybe new perspectives and understandings for those particular relationship experiences had to happen to prepare you for this particular moment. Now, this particular moment is important because we're reevaluating what it is we actually want for ourselves, what we want, what we need, what we desire, especially when considering our relationship values. Now, I know that you try to keep yourself busy, you try to keep yourself preoccupied with, tasks and chores and helping other people out in order to avoid your feelings, but something is really going to pop off around the 10th that is really going to have you kind of frazzled and dazzled in order for you to see where you have to crack yourself wide open, feel the feels if you expect to heal certain past experiences, past pain, past trauma, past relationship hurts and wounds. So on the 22nd, we enter into Libra season, creating our fall equinox, and of course, taking the sun out of shining upon you. Now, that's okay. You don't mind because you don't really enjoy being in the spotlight anyways. You'd rather get to work. And with this Libra season, trying to kind of show us where it is we've been living in extremes and where balance needs to be restored, you will definitely be getting back down to the nitty-gritty on what needs to be built in your life, what kind of foundations need to be created. We're talking about your routine. We're talking about your skills and your talents that you've kind of backburnered that need to come out into the forefront to create a little bit more income for yourself. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about money matters. There are new goals, especially coming into your new natal year, that you need to be concentrated on. In this Libra energy, really looking for the happiness, the peace, the balance, the harmony in one's life is definitely going to illuminate for you where you've been putting too much focus on one area and not enough focus on the others. Again, this is a healthy reset in the mind, which again, you are very, very skilled at, and recognizing where the mind needs to be reset, refocused, redefined on what it is you actually want to create, what actually you need to bring to life to be successful in accomplishing some of the goals that you're setting out for yourself in your new natal year. Now, on the 23rd, we have Mercury, your ruler, retrograde still, but moving back into Virgo energy, coming back into this first house of self. This, again, is going to give you an opportunity to kind of fix some of the problems that have been popped off, redo some of the things that, you'd be happy to get a second chance about, especially when it's you coming back to life. Now, again, when you come into your birthday season, on your birthday, the sun downloads you with light codes, with the energy, with the life force that you're going to need for the rest of the year. Because Mercury is retrograde, we aren't coming off as strong as we would like. It's hard to be rebirthed under a Mercury retrograde. So this does give us a second chance, if you will, to reassess what it is that we want to do, to kind of reinvent ourselves, to re-emerge in life in the way that we weren't able to do from our birthday up until now. We are going to have the new moon in Libra on the 25th of September, and this is going to be highlighting your second house. So your second house is about your day-to-day life, your routines, the foundations that need to be built to support a healthy lifestyle. The second house is also where love and money is concerned. And because you do have new goals coming into this year, because you do have under this full moon in Pisces, a full illumination of where some relationships have been suffering in your life and where some relationships need to be rebalanced and kind of restored, the new moon in Libra should have you focused on where peace is needed. Peace within yourself, between your heart and your head, peace within your circumstances, circumstances in your daily life and peace within some of the relationships that have gotten out of whack. It would be a very good time to refocus your mind on the smaller little details of life, find where there is happiness, find where there is joy, and definitely take a good look at where there's too much work and not enough play. Venus will then be moving out of Virgo energy, moving into Libran energy on the 29th of September. This is Venus's place of power, again, taking up space in your second house. This is going to have you reconsidering what is worth your time, what is worth your energy, what is worth your love and attention when it comes to building the kind of routines in your daily life that will be supportive enough to actually see you bring to life the new goals that you are setting out for yourself. This would also be a prime opportunity to connect with new people. If you're not in a relationship, you could be aligning with someone that could potentially be a romantic partner. This is also an opportune time for you to really set some goals down and align with some opportunities to bring in more income, more money, more resources, if you will. It is definitely going to have you more focused on taking care of yourself, nurturing your physical body, making sure that there is time for happiness, for play, for joy, and again, recognizing where it is that you've been throwing yourself into work only to distract yourself from doing the healing in your emotions that you 100% need to do. Now, believe it or not, you are on the right track. With this solar infusion, it does take a little bit of time to kick in, but you should be highly focused on what it is that you want to build, what it is that you want to create. Yes, it's going to be very challenging for you this month because your ruler is going retrograde. This means that you're going to have to let your intuition come in and lead. And I know that's uncomfortable for you because you would rather depend on the logical, practical mindset of your intellect. But the intellect is not working at its fullest capacity with Mercury being retrograde. So although it's uncomfortable for you to dive into the emotional realm and allow your intuition to lead, it is being very, very important for you to at least strike a balance between allowing your intuition in to provide you with some guidance and, of course, counterbalancing that with your logic, with your intellect. Now, in the home and family area, I would say that you are trying to avoid some of the topics and themes popping off in your home, in your family environment by throwing yourself into work once again. This is a numbing device. This is a coping mechanism because you are unsure how to mentally compartmentalize what it is that you are currently feeling. I don't know how long it's going to take you to realize that you can't make sense of your emotions, but again, you got to learn the tough love life lessons throughout this month to realize that sometimes emotions don't make sense, and that's okay. I really feel like you're going to be renewed in your life force energy, prepared to jump into a brand new path, a brand new adventure for this next year. But when it comes to work, please try to at least give yourself a little bit of leeway, a little bit of rest, a little bit of time to recalibrate under these particular energy light codes that are coming at you with your solar infusion. Yes, I think it's going to be a month where you are going to start reaping the rewards of some of the things that you've really put your blood and sweat and tears into, especially from the beginning of this year. But now you're left at a crossroads point where you have achieved some of your goals, and now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty on the options, the choices that you actually have available to you, and where you're actually going to pour your time and energy in. Now, again, your biggest lesson this month is balance. You have to balance your heart and your soul and with your mind space. You have to balance your physical action with your emotional realm. You have to balance your work with your home life, with your play. And if nothing else, you have to at least balance what it is that you want to do, what it is that you need, what it is that you desire versus what you think other people want, need, and desire from you. Emotionally speaking, I think you're going to be all over the place. I think you're going to be feeling a little bit cray-cray. I think your heart chakra is going to have a lot of activations, especially with Venus moving into your sign. And this is going to crack you open in all the right ways, even though it feels super uncomfortable for you. Again, having control over things, having to nitpick everything, having to analyze everything in your mental plane can become exhausting, especially when trying to understand and compartmentalize your emotions are concerned. Please go with the flow. Please roll instead of being dragged. Either way, you're going to have an emotionally chaotic month. This is, again, because your ruler, the intellect, is going to sleep. It's essentially unconscious at the wheel. You're going to feel very torn. You're going to feel very, very pulled in two different directions. And that direction will be easily established if you just don't resist as much as you want to resist in allowing your emotions to lead. I know that's uncharacteristic of you, but it is what is absolutely necessary in order to align you with the dreams, with the visions, with the wants, the needs, the desires that you need to set out for yourself moving into a brand new solar year. Lastly, Virgo, yes, expect a little bit of a mental breakdown. Why? Because your ruler of the intellect, is asleep at the wheel. You have to surrender to the emotions and the intuition trying to kick in to show you the way. Not everything can be calculated. Not everything can be logical and practical. You do have to listen to your heart space, and your heart space absolutely knows the truth of what it is that you need, what it is that you want, and what it is that you desire. There's a lot of celebrating going on with your birthday season. There is a lot of topics and themes and efforts, projects coming full circle that you need to be celebrating as well. But I feel like the main topic, the main theme for you this month is not only kind of reawakening to who it is that you are going to project yourself to be in this year, but is balance, especially under that full moon in Pisces. That is your opposite sign, which means that you are going to have a full illumination of the emotions, of the memories that you actively go out of your way every single day to try and repress under the intellectual influence of trying to make sense of the past, of your emotions, of your intuition, of your memories, and of your dreams. So that's all that I have for you for September, Virgo. I wish you a beautiful birthday month, and we'll talk to you soon.